There is a kind of connection that feels like fate. You meet someone and within days or sometimes hours it feels like you have known them your entire life. The conversations go deep, fast. The vulnerability flows freely. And for a moment, it feels like you have finally found the person you have been looking for. And then they disappear. Not slowly, not with warning signs you could have read, but suddenly, completely, as if the closeness itself scared them away. And you are left standing there, confused, replaying every moment, asking yourself, what did I do wrong? You did not do anything wrong. But something did go wrong, and understanding exactly what that is might be the most important. Welcome back. Today we are talking about something that almost nobody explains clearly: the reverse intimacy trap. The psychological paradox where the more intensely two people bond in the beginning, the more likely that bond is to collapse before it ever truly forms. And the cruel irony at the heart of it is this: the very thing you did to get close to them is the exact thing that made them run. Let's start with what actually happens inside the brain when two people connect rapidly. When you experience deep, fast emotional bonding with someone, your brain releases a cocktail of neurochemicals: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, norepinephrine. It feels electric, it feels meaningful. Your nervous system registers this person as significant, and it does so almost immediately. Psychologists call this phenomenon limerence in its romantic form, but the mechanism operates in friendships and even professional relationships too. The brain does not distinguish well between depth earned over time and depth that arrived all at once. It just knows this feels important, doing something entirely different. Depending on their attachment style, their trauma history, and their current emotional capacity, that same intensity that felt like magic to you may be registering as a threat to them, not because they do not like you, but because their internal alarm system is wired to protect them from exactly this kind of closeness. This is the foundation of the reverse intimacy trap. Two people, the same experience, completely opposite internal responses. Now let's talk about attachment theory, because you cannot fully understand this trap without it. In the 1960s and 70s, psychologists John Bowlby and later Mary Ainsworth identified that humans develop core attachment patterns in early childhood based on how consistently their emotional needs were met. These patterns follow us into adulthood and quietly govern how we behave in every close relationship we ever have. There are 4 primary attachment styles: secure, anxious, avoidant, and fearful avoidant, also known as disorganized. And the reverse intimacy trap almost always involves a collision between an anxious attachment style and an avoidant one. Here is how that collision plays out. The anxiously attached person Pine, who grew up in an environment where love felt inconsistent or uncertain, is wired to pursue closeness aggressively. When they feel a connection, they lean in hard. They share deeply, they invest quickly, and they interpret intensity as evidence of something real. This is not manipulation. This is their nervous system doing exactly what it was trained to do: close the distance before the connection disappears. Because in their experience, connections always disappear. The avoidantly attached person, who often grew up in an environment where emotional needs were dismissed or where closeness felt suffocating, is wired in the opposite direction. They want connection, but the moment it gets too close too fast, their system activates a withdrawal response. They pull back. They go quiet. They start finding reasons why this person is not right for them. And critically, they often do not even fully understand why they are doing it. It happens below the level of conscious decision-making. So you have one person flooding the space with closeness, and another person whose internal wiring treats that flood as a signal to escape. And neither of them is broken. They are both behaving in ways that are completely logical given their histories. But together, in this particular combination, they create a dynamic that almost always ends in pain. But the reverse intimacy trap is not only about attachment styles. There is another layer here that most people never examine: the concept psychologists call intimacy pacing, and the deeply human tendency to confuse emotional intensity with emotional depth. Intensity and depth are not the same thing. Intensity is the volume of the experience. Depth is the foundation beneath it. When two people stay up until 3 a.m. sharing their biggest fears and oldest wounds within the first week of knowing each other, that is intense. It feels profound. It releases all the right brain chemicals. But it has not been tested. It has not been built. There is no shared history of showing up for each other through difficulty. There is no trust forged over time. What exists is a feeling, a powerful, real, undeniable feeling built on a foundation that has not yet had the time to solidify. And feelings built on intensity without depth are structurally fragile. The smallest disruption, a misread text, a canceled plan, a moment of emotional unavailability, can shatter the whole thing. Because there is no resilience yet, no repair history, no proof that this connection can survive friction. This is why therapists and relationship researchers consistently find that the relationships which begin the slowest often last the longest. Not because slow is inherently better, but because slow allows for something crucial: the gradual calibration of two nervous systems, learning to trust each other without being overwhelmed. There is a term in psychology called the over-disclosure paradox. Research shows that when someone shares too much too soon, even in a context where the other person initially responds warmly, it can eventually trigger a subconscious discomfort in the listener. The brain begins to register the relationship as unbalanced, as demanding, as emotionally risky, and this discomfort builds quietly beneath the surface until the person starts pulling away, often without being able to articulate exactly why. This is one of the cruelest aspects of the reverse intimacy trap. The person who opened up, who was honest, who was brave enough to be vulnerable, they are often the one who gets punished for it. Not intentionally, not maliciously, but the outcome is the same. Their openness triggered a retreat, and now they are left not only with the loss of the connection, but with the dangerous belief that being themselves is the problem. Let that sink in for a moment, because that belief, the belief that your authenticity is what drives people away, is one of the most destructive conclusions a person can carry. And it is completely false. The problem was never your authenticity. The problem was the mismatch between the timing of your vulnerability and the other person's capacity to receive it. So what do you actually do with all of this? How do you build real intimacy without falling into this trap? The first thing you need to understand is that genuine intimacy is not built through disclosure. It is built through consistency. It is not about how much you share, it is about how reliably you show up. Over time, across different circumstances, through both easy moments and difficult ones. That reliability, that steady, undramatic consistency is what actually teaches another nervous system that you are safe. The second thing is to learn the difference between being open and being unguarded. Being open means you are willing to be known. Being unguarded means you have removed all protective distance before trust has been earned. One is a posture of courage. The other is a posture of desperation, even when it does not feel that way from the inside. The third thing is to pay attention to reciprocity, not obsessively, but consciously. Healthy intimacy develops in a rhythm of mutual exchange. One person shares something real, the other responds in kind, and over time, the depth increases naturally. If you notice you are consistently the one going deeper while the other person stays surface level, that is information. That asymmetry will not resolve itself through more vulnerability on your part. It will only deepen the imbalance. And finally, the hardest one, learn to sit with the discomfort of not knowing yet. One of the driving forces behind the reverse intimacy trap is anxiety. The fear that if you do not secure the connection right now, you will lose it. And so you overinvest, overshare, overcommit, trying to make real something that needs time to become real. But genuine connection cannot be forced into existence before its time. The people who learn to let things unfold at a natural pace, who can stay present and warm without gripping, are the ones who consistently build the deepest, most durable relationships. The reverse intimacy trap is not a flaw in your character. It is not proof that you love too much or feel too deeply. It is a mismatch between your desire for closeness and the conditions under which closeness can actually take root and survive. You are not too much. You were just offering something real in a moment that had not yet been built to hold it. And when you understand that, truly understand it, you stop shrinking yourself. You stop dimming your capacity for connection. You just get wiser about the timing, wiser about the pacing, wiser about the difference between a feeling and a foundation. Because the right people, the ones whose nervous systems are ready for what you are offering, will not run from your depth. They will meet it, slowly, carefully, and completely. That is all for today. If this resonated with you, you already know what to do. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.